Do you think that idea, that concept, and a lot of, you hear it time and time again. I've been in Copenhagen, and you'll meet guys that have tell you the story of the 90s of Copenhagen and the 90s of Koh Samui. Is there anything in Thailand that remotely exists that you could still get that feeling? Some hidden island that maybe people aren't even aware of? Or is that mindset just gone?
Look, back in those days, and it was all the party era, back in the 90s, and Koh Phangan was famous, but there was no accommodation over there back then. You went over and you literally camped when you went to the full moon parties. I mean, full moon parties were huge back then, but everything was super casual. Now, again, everywhere there's resorts, and there's, you've got different levels. It's like Phi Phi Island. I mean, I just recently went to Phi Phi, and we were lucky. We stayed at the Sai Resort, which is around the bend from Tong Sai Bay. And
on Phi Phi or Raleigh?
Phi Phi.
Okay. Tong Sai.
Tong Sai.
Oh, okay.
The main.
Yes,
the main.
Gotcha.
Then we went by longtail boat around to Tong Sai Bay, and we were talking to a couple. I think they were from New Zealand, and when we arrived there, the first thing I saw was Burger King, and we got off this boat. Tom and I walked around for an hour, and the boat, that was about 11 o'clock. The boat was coming back for us at 4. By 1 o'clock, we'd hired a boat to go back.
Yeah,
and the next day, we saw this couple, and he said to me, "You caught a boat back early, didn't you?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "I said to my wife, will you look at her face?" And apparently, as we'd pulled up at Tong Sai Bay, I had the look of my face was just horror of Burger King, McDonald's, Coffee Club, banks. It was just, get me out of here.
Yeah, what that memory you've had of it in the past, it just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
and it's interesting living in I've been here 12 years. I find after 8 years you forget. You have to actually think about it. 12 years, and you have these amazing times at certain locations around wherever that is in Southeast Asia. And because it grows so fast here, I don't think they exist anymore when you go back. And I can say that about multiple places in the Philippines where you go back and you're like, I don't remember this being like that. I think the only one that's kind of holding true to itself right now is Raleigh and Tong Sai. Yeah. It's the only thing left that they're holding on a little bit. It's still it's rustic, but there's no, I hope to God that Burger King just doesn't show up there, but I don't think they can because it's quite difficult to get in there.
Yeah, and getting supplies and things. But, we went from, like I said, we were only there for 2.5 years in Koh Samui, and then we went to Malaysia for a few, 2.5 years, I think. And then Tom was offered a job in the Philippines, and we went to the Philippines. Again, I'm still tracking my body around Asia and different places, which was great. I was able to do all of that. And then where did we come? We went from the Philippines. We decided Tom had finished his job there, and we went to have a look in Bali. We thought we'll base ourselves somewhere for 3 months, 6 months. We'd always hated Bali. We went to Bali, stayed there for a month, still hated Bali, and came to Phuket. Thought, we'll have a look. We'd been here before, both of us, not together, never together. And after a month or so, we decided, we'll rent a house, and which we did. And then the next thing, he was offered another job in the Philippines. And I said, well, I'm not going back there. Well, actually, I did. I think I lasted a week when a friend of mine was launching a magazine in Bangkok. And he said to me, help, I need you. So I went to Bangkok, and a magazine which is still well known today in Bangkok and still going, The Big Chili.
The Big Chili.
Which is a magazine aimed at expats, and it's a lifestyle magazine.
So, but he went back to the Philippines?
Yeah.
And so did you have a home in Phuket, and you're kind of based out running around a little bit?
Yeah. So I would go to the Philippines, and then he'd come back to...
Yeah, the Philippines, I I've been everywhere there. I think I might be done with it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's just so, I feel it's just too difficult to get around when you want to really go somewhere.
Yeah.
And then once you get there, you don't want to be there that long either, because then you're bored in about 2 days. I mean,
it wasn't a place that ever grabbed me.
No.
I had some very good friends.
and the food is kind of. If you enjoyed this content, we're doing 5 clips like this a week. If you want to watch the full podcast, click here.